Hey dude, sorry I'm late. Traffic was pretty bad because of the rain.
Don't worry about it right now, man. Someone broke into the building earlier.
Really? What happened?
I'm not really too sure. I talked to Sandra and Smithison about it, but they were still pretty shaken up about the whole thing.
That's intense. Did they catch him?
No, not yet. All we really seem to know is that he was going after what was in 4B.
What do you think could have happened?
Well, the police haven't really told us a whole lot, but if I had to assume anything, they probably got past old top flight security William Smitherson.
You see, you couldn't use the elevator because that sets you right out in front of Sandra, and you know her. She'll accuse anyone of being a thief. She recognizes anything and everything, so the only possible entry point to me is the maintenance stairway located 3 doors back from 4B. And for that to be effective, you have to know where Smithy is. So where was Smithy? I happen to know for a fact on 3rd they were having a barbecue for the girl leaving to go to Dallas. And we know Smithy doesn't turn down a free lunch, so I place him around there about this time. So now if you're the perpetrator, there's really only one obstacle in your way: the pass card. Where could the perpetrator have received a pass card? Do you remember who works here on 4th? That's right, Susie Brinkman. Susie Brinkman is an interesting thought. Graduated top of her class, works for a prestigious research facility, but absent-minded. I say her and Sandra started doing the Chatty Cathy routine one day earlier, and while scoping it out, the perp noticed when they left. She happened to also leave her pass card, allowing him entrance to all the rooms on floor 4.
Well, hey, slow down, right? Listen, Smithson would not just abandon his post like that at lunch.
What do you mean?
Smithy's not that lackadaisical, dude.
Please.
Alright, well, listen, if you ask me if this is anything, this is an inside job.
Well, Smithy might just buff the halls, but he's more clever than we give him credit. And Sandra, she basically records the whereabouts of everyone on her floor. Moving past those 2 entry points, I'd guess the perpetrator would have had to have known somebody on the 4th floor, someone with a grudge. What has Steve been saying about this place ever since he moved up here last April? That's right, that all of the people up here are as dumb as the day they were born. And why is that, you ask? That's because Steve is a lab rat, not an administrative type. He got to sit down with the department head for a few choice words about the company, and he screamed after losing his endowment to Mueller. So here's the kicker, where the barbecue comes into play. Perfect excuse to bring in an outside friend to get some food, right? So that explains how the thief got in. Old Steve just decides to ask him over for some barbecue, and then boom. He gets on that elevator, rides it up, walks in the front, walks out the front, invisible to anyone around him. Meanwhile, Steve is nowhere to be found. Now I know what you're thinking, he still needs a pass card to get in the lab. That's where Susie comes into play by forgetting her pass card while trying to get food at the barbecue. The perp sees the opportunity to steal it, and it is all at the demise of Susie, Steve's main opponent in upper management.
No, you stop right there, Dave, alright? Are you kidding me? There's no way that Steve would jeopardize his family like that.
I'm just saying, if anybody has a beef with the company, it's Steve.
Not enough to lose his job over it, though.
Whatever, dude. This is getting ridiculous to argue about. Just get back to work, okay?
I can't believe you would think Steve would do something like that.
Yeah, well, just let it go, dude. Finish your work, alright?
Alright. Did you catch that Yankees game last night?
Nah, I had dinner with my mother-in-law's.
Man, that sucks. Hey man, if you're lost, you can just go downstairs. The receptionist will help you out.
Yeah, you really shouldn't be up here.